Elizabeth Williams-Acton was just wondering if her mother, January, I think that's how it's pronounced, if her mother's got any messages for her. Her mother's now in the Summerlands, and wondered if, let's have a word with January and see if we can get in touch and see what message we can get. We'll use these mediumship cards here. Each card has a pre-written sentence on it, and as we shuffle them, January's spirit will manipulate them and then provide a message. We'll get the cards and we'll shuffle them, and as we shuffle them, we just simply ask, Spirit of January, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, January, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of January, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, January, through these cards and move among us. Have you a message for your daughter, Elizabeth? And what have you to say? I ask, Spirit of January, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, January, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to January and all absent friends. Where the deck splits is where it's thought to be at its most energetic point or position, and of course it's where January has left the message and where she's joined us. So first of all, before we do anything else, I want to just thank you, January, for your presence. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy and for your love for the message that you've brought for your daughter Elizabeth. I'll initially draw out 3 cards, and we'll see what we got. I suppose it's a bit like beginning, middle and end of statement, isn't it? Let's just see what the first thing your mother has to just say here. We just flip the card nice and slowly as the clock strikes there 5 o'clock. I'm just about to get a reminder for my CCTV.
I'm reminding you. Review CCTV settings.
Alexa, off. It won't listen. But, well, what did I tell you? It won't listen.
CCTV settings.
But January, I'm sure, with this first card here, this first energy, as you can see, this is the first thing she wants to say. And she's just saying there's no such thing as death. I just want you to know that, Elizabeth. There's no such thing as death, and that's why I'm speaking to you now. That's what I'm sort of getting from it. I don't know if you were sort of feeling that same sort of thing there, that similar sort of energy. And I want to just pull the next card to see what there is, I suppose, to continue from that. I suppose add to it, really, isn't it? To some degree. Let's just pull the next card off and flip it nice and slowly again, not to disturb the energy. And let's just see. She's just that's an interesting one, isn't it? The tree with the love hearts and things. And she's just saying that I wish I'd told you more often how much I love you. Which I suppose is a bit, well, not silly, but certainly by saying that, you're saying that you love her, aren't you, January? And maybe, I suppose she says she just wished she told you more while she was on the earth plane. But you're not dead, are you, January? And that's the main thing. There's no such thing as death. And I just wished I'd told you more whilst I was on the earth plane. I think that's really, I suppose, how you could interpret that, really, isn't it? In that sense. I always tend to think of death as a bit like the car that breaks down. You get out and walk, but it doesn't mean that you are gone. It just means the car's clapped out, your body's had it. But let's just see what the next thing is. She just said, I send you loving signs through nature, Elizabeth. When you go for that walk and see the butterflies, hear the birds singing, even see the moon at night maybe. Remember, I looked at that moon, I heard those birds, and and I sat on that bench maybe in the garden. I always tend to use that analogy. But I always went on that walk, and when you go on that walk again where we used to go, or even that venue we used to go to have a drink, or wherever, remember, I'll be there with you, because that's where I went, and my spirit will be there with you, because there's no such thing as death, Elizabeth. And I just wish I'd told you more. I just wish I'd told you more often. I love you. It doesn't mean I love you any less. It just means I just wish I'd told you a bit more. That's all. Maybe we had the odd argument and got at one another now and again. I somehow sense, though, just one more card wanting to just come out here, as if it's like a fan. Just say my mind is free now. She's gone through the door. She's gone through Heaven's Gate, I suppose you could call it, couldn't you? But she's gone through the portal to the other side, and she's just saying that my mind is free. Now I've told you that. As if her mind is free now, she's told you and got it off her chest, if you get what I mean. But I'll send you loving signs through nature, in the sense I always do, but as if when that leaf drops or something in front of you, remember, it might not just be the leaf dropping. There could be something behind that, and you know there will be. When you hear that crow once or twice or 3 times or however many times it is, remember, that could be me, just in another form, because nobody ever dies, Elizabeth, and you have to remember that. There's no such thing as death, and that's why. And it's just, yes, okay, I wish I'd told you more often I loved you. I wish I'd told you more often, but so what? At the end of the day, I send you loving signs through nature. I send you signs when you look at the moon. Remember, of course, I saw that same moon, and I'm there with you when you're looking at it again, because it's the same thing. I'm in a timeless. It's as if she's saying I'm in a place where there's no time now, so it doesn't matter. I can move forward and back in time, and go back when you remember the time that we had good together. I can be there with you, because I was there then. But I was just there in the flash then, and of course I was limited by the 3-dimensional body that I was in. But of course, that's what I'm getting. But now my mind is free. I want you to know, Elizabeth, and most of all, that my mind is free. And I want you to know I'm not troubled anymore. Why I'm sort of getting that, I don't know. But I'm sort of wanting another card, I don't know. Sort of something else here. I'm here helping you. My mind is free. I'm here helping you to free your mind as well from that which troubles you as well. And I think that's maybe. But then again, as I always look at that card and say, what moves, the flag or the wind? Yes, the answer, the Buddhistic answer, or whatever you want to call it there, is it's the mind that moves. But that's cheating, because what is the answer to the question? It's one of those questions you know the answer to, but you can't answer it. And maybe in this situation, maybe there's no need for an answer. Just accept things for what they are. I know it's hard, but accept, yes, her mind is free. And that's the main thing. She's at rest, aren't you? You know, you're at rest, and that's the main thing. And just so we know she's at rest, we're going to put the cards, gather them all together, and just place them in a neat pile there, just in front of the candle. We just before we started, we'd ask for the Spirit of Light to. For the purpose of guidance, healing and protection in memory of all absent friends, and we let the candle, we always use an asked for flame, never just light a candle, always use an asked for flame, especially if you're lighting it in memory of somebody, or anybody for that matter. But for this we're doing it for sacred purposes, so we are, take my word, it is an asked for flame, and maybe her presence is there, isn't it? You know, maybe if I don't know, so maybe there's something, I don't know, you sense from it what you do. But for now we just say love is the law, that love that you were speaking of there, you know, the love that you wish you'd told I mean, and sometimes it doesn't matter how many times you say things. Some people, it just goes over their head when they take it for granted, and maybe that's what it was. We just took it for granted and we didn't say anything. But that love is the law, love is the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we now part. You know, merry may we meet again. And we just place the rest of the deck on top of your mother's cards there, Elizabeth, and we lay her to rest. Blessed be to Genoa and all absent friends.